Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. As you guys know, I've been on the Chinese government's helmet. Basically for the communist practices. Now, over the last month, the Chinese government has been officially exposed for their treatment of African immigrants. In case you guys don't know, which most of us black folks know, which the mainstream, lamestream media is keeping from the public, basically, is how they have kicked a lot of those African immigrants out of their home, put them in the streets with nowhere to go. Some even had women that was expecting children, and they did not care. They refused to serve them at restaurants. So basically, what happened is what they're doing now, they're trying to pay off and even intimidate these African immigrants, into saying, oh, no, no, they're not racist. They're not practicing discrimination. They've been fair to us. Basically, they're paying for silence. Basically, they tried to finesse an African couple. They kicked them out of their home. The lady was pregnant. They tried to go to one hospital. They wouldn't admit them into a hospital. And then basically, they got exposed. So basically, what they did was they took them to the hospital. They let the lady have the baby. So then they tried to get them to make all these videos saying, hey, China has been discriminating against blacks and African immigrants when clearly they have. Basically, it was a save face move. So basically, what they're doing, they're going to some parts of Africa and paying for silence. I tell you, it's a handkerchief everywhere. Why did I not why wasn't I surprised when I found out they had, people from Nigeria caping for them, and then certain parts of Kenya. Now, they have been people that have been exposing them. Keep in mind, I just put out the story about what they did to the people, you know, uh, that was stowed away on the boat, and how they treated them, and how basically they almost killed them. But at the end of the day, they trying to save face. So they're doing what white people do. They will find a handkerchief head and put them in front of the camera and say, "Oh no, they not discriminating. It's a figment of your imagination." That's the oldest trick in the book. Don't you know that's what they do? They use us to make their talking points. They've been doing this. Like I keep telling you, racism towards black people is global. And that's why I laugh when I hear people say that racism is overblown and it's a figment of our imagination, because that's the games they like to play. They try to play the Jedi mind trick. What you seeing is not actually what you seeing. What you hearing is not actually what you're hearing. What your experience is not what your experience. They love to play those games. And then, like I said before, they know they could find somebody to talk on their behalf. They know they could find a sellout. But at the end of the day, what you gonna do when we don't believe the sellout? What you gonna do when we bypass the people that you try to use, as your talking points, as your flunky, as your mascot? What you gonna do when we start going through them? Real talk. Look, the gig is up. The gig is up. Don't matter how much money you spend and who you sit up and grab and put some dollars in their hands and promise them some trinkets to say, hey, look, say that this is not going on, and say this is all. Keep in mind, that's what the media do. 75% of the media stories is, I'll say, propaganda or manipulated. They don't never tell you the whole truth. That's what happens when you do media in most cases. You're not supposed to tell the truth. And good news isn't news. Okay? Real talk. But yeah, I needed to put that out there, man, because I'm going to keep exposing them. And I'm going to keep exposing global racism towards black people. But I gotta say something to some of y'all Nigerians, man. Y'all need to get y'all shit together, man. Cause the reputation and basically the bad blood between American blacks and Nigerians are getting worse by the minute. I'm just keeping it 100. And I'm not saying that to all people that's of Nigerian descent, but I'm saying a lot, or at the very least some. Shit gotta stop. This your boy Tail Biz. I'm out.